Well, this week I'm in one of my favorite places, Jay Leno's shop. Jay's always got such cool stuff. And today I think we're going to talk about steam.
Hey, Dennis. How do you get in here all the time?
They left the door open.
I turn around and suddenly Dennis Gage appears.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
steam!
Steam. This is the alternative fuel section. These are all Stanley steam cars from early 1900s. That's the only double-digit car. That's a 10. I would say the height of steam was probably the early 1900s because there's no clutches, there's no transmissions. The self-starter had yet to be invented, so most people, you crank a car and you break your arm, or you know, you've got to adjust the carburetor and the clutch and everything. With the steam, you light it, you go in, you have breakfast, you come out 10 or 15 minutes later. The downside was it did take a while. It did take 10 or 15 minutes to heat up.
Wasn't a good getaway car unless you were like...
Well, it was all fired up as a good getaway car.
Right.
There are disadvantages. It's one of the few cars you can get burned to death and scalded to death at the same time. I mean, you're on fire and you're carrying hot water. So there are safety issues.
There are downsides.
That need to be addressed. Yeah, exactly.
Last time we visited Jay, he was restoring a 1925 Doble steam car. The engine wasn't even in this baby yet. Now the Doble is finished, and Jay brought us up to steam on this extremely fascinating automobile.
Let me show you how this works.
Yeah, you just wouldn't expect to see that under the hood. I mean, again, this looks like your basic internal combustion car.
It looks like the basement of an apartment building.
That definitely does.
Yeah. But this boiler, well, they call it a generator. This, you're only heating 2 quarts of water at a time. You have 600 feet of tubing wound very tightly like a spring.
In there?
In there, yeah.
600 feet?
600 feet, like as tall as a 6-story apartment building. Wow. And the way the Doble works is you turn the key. There's an electric fan here that spins. It shoots air at a high velocity up this tube. It then goes into the venturi of the carburetor, which makes it even faster, picks gas up from the float bowl, and just sprays it into this generator. And you have one spark plug here. So when you light it, it goes woof, woof. So almost
in there, just a big woof.
It's a big woof.
It's a big woof.
It just literally goes, but literally as fast as a spark plug can go. So what you're doing is, within 10 or 15 seconds, you've got instant steam.
But this whole thing's like a huge combustion chamber?
It's like a combustion chamber, yeah. It just, all the heat is contained. That's 2 million BTUs.
That's a lot of BTUs.
That's a lot of BTUs. It gets really hot. I mean, I'll give you an idea how hot it gets. Here, come on over here. This is what you call your burner can. This is 18 gauge stainless steel. This is what happens when it gets a little warm. And then it starts coming through the cover. I mean, when you look, when you open the hood and you see this, it's like looking into the gates of hell, ladies and gentlemen. You look down and you go, ah!
Oh, the humanity.
Well, luckily we caught it before it came through.
It's quite a design.
It's a fascinating design. It's mind-boggling because everybody thinks, oh, steam car, I'll figure that out. But there are water hammers and other issues. I mean, there are so many issues when you deal with steam, especially when we didn't even finish the whole process here. Then you go into your motor, and then it runs your motor. There's a high compression piston, a low compression piston. It's a 4-cylinder compound engine. And then the steam is still being used. It comes up here and goes into this. This is your turbine fan right here.
Okay.
Now, this is not a radiator, it's a condenser. Remember the old science experiment with the plate where the steam would go up and hit the one, come down?
Drips down.
Okay, what happens is, it comes in here at the top of the radiator, or top of the condenser rather, very hot. The steam is going through here, spinning this, cooling it, so it's cold water at the bottom, and then you use the water over and over.
Water goes back into the water tank.
And then you use it over and over again. This will give you some idea what the inside of that boiler looks like on the Doble. Is 600 feet of this tubing. That's that burner can. Remember I told you
the one that's all fried?
Yeah. That's the hole where the spark plug, that's the carburetor goes in there, and then the spark plug goes through the other hole, and it just kind of sprays gas into that burner can, and it fires it, and it kind of gets into a swirl, and then forces the flame downward.
And this just fits over that hole, mates with that hole?
Fits right over there, yeah, and then it comes through.
And are these?
These are all Doble chassis. As you can see, the engine is in there. The engine's down low. It's right in here, the highest point being the boiler. That's why they handle so well. Everything's down low. This is a bus chassis version of the same thing. My car, this is every existing Doble factory photo there is, at least that I can find. If this was not my car, it was pretty close to my car, except mine had wire wheels on it.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, this is
these look like original drawings almost.
yeah, these, well, the copies of the originals, yeah. So this is basically what the engine part looks like. Remember we talked about how your crankshaft is also your
Right.
axle? Well, that's right here. Your steam engine, your engine is up here. Then you have a Stephenson's link like the Stanley does, which is right there. But again, there's no clutch, there's no transmission. These are your blow-off valves. I mean, it's so complicated. But somebody made it once, so it can be made again. That's kind of the cool thing about it.
And this? Just
Well,
another view of it?
That's an overview of it. Yeah, that's the overhead view. See, this is your axles here. Comes back here. I said before your crankshaft is also your axle. I didn't mean it that way. I meant your crankshaft drives here, drives off your axle, right here. There's your ring and pinion. But there's no clutch or transmission or anything like that.
Just directly coupled.
Yeah, this is your crankshaft right here, and then there's a big center gear which runs that.
Welcome back to My Classic Car and Steam Engines 101 with Jay Leno.
What is this?
This, I believe, is an early 1900, well, it's a locomobile engine. I'm guessing it's probably a 2 or 3 or 4. You can tell it's old because, see, the old chains had a huge, see the pitch,
yeah.
see how wide it was? The teeth were much wider apart. This, I believe, would be about a 10 horsepower engine. Now, 10 doesn't sound like much, but you have a tremendous amount of torque. I mean, I'll show you. I'm just going to run this on compressed air. So, as you can see, there's
a lot of power there.
There's a lot of power there, yeah.
Leno is a true professor of steamology. But enough of the classroom lecture, I was ready for some practical application.
Now, you saw that the boiler's cold.
Yes, it is. This isn't going to blow up or anything, right?
No. What you're doing first is you're pumping water.
You're going to have a funky beat there.
Okay. You want to hop in and we'll go for a
Yeah.
spin?
I mean, you can do that with this?
Yeah. Hop in.
Really? Yeah, cool.
What you do is you turn it on. Now you hear your fire?
That's what... Oh, yeah.
Okay, now you have fire. This is your temperature gauge, okay? All right, within seconds, when that hits 500 degrees, you're ready to go. You can move sooner than that, but I don't like... See your boiler temperature rising quickly? Okay, so now we're up to about 150 degrees. When we hit 500 degrees, you're ready to pull away.
Well, now for a steam car, that's a pretty quick startup.
Yeah, it is a pretty quick startup. And we're starting from dead cold. This hasn't been running about, I guess 5 days.
And a dual wheel.
Okay, this is your throttle. This is for left turns, this is for right turns. No, this isn't. No, what you have is,
can't handle
see,
it.
with a steam car, you also have a foot throttle. But with a steam car, in case a steam valve should hang open, you can physically shut it by hand.
Oh, and it's moving the
It
pedal
also
down.
moves the pedal as well. But see, we're ready to go now.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
All aboard! I always wanted to say that.
Now, I mean, this is a beautiful body on this car, too.
Yeah, it's a Murphy body.
Murphy was in California?
Yeah. In fact, it's a car dealership now. The original thing is still there. Okay, now we're, and you see pick up speed as you gather steam. You want to be up around 700 degrees. I'm still cold, but you can go down the road.
So 700, I mean, this thing must be running at pretty high pressure, too.
2,000 degrees in your boiler. I'm now looking at 500 degrees steam pressure. But you see, as she starts to warm up, you gain more and more speed.
So the brakes. Brakes are good.
Brakes are good. Well, what I've done is I've hidden some Corvette disc brakes in the drums in the front.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this thing weighs 3 tons.
Jay hopped out and turned the wheel over to me.
Chinese fire drill.
But you know, it's
The steering box is nice.
It's nice. Very little wander.
No, it's just different. You see all the things cycling on. The red light is your water pumps. That's your.
There's a lot to watch here.
Yeah. You don't need a radio. There's plenty to keep you busy.
And was this? I mean, if you had a Doble, did you really have something in 25?
Yeah. I mean, there was. This was faster than the equivalent, even the Duesenberg. There weren't many cars that could keep up with this, because even if the other guy got you off the line, he had to shift.
Right.
And this
and
is
you just go.
Constant, pull. You're going over fuel now. It's fabulous. You see it as a puddle, I see it as fuel.
And it'll do 100?
Yeah, she'll do 100 miles an hour. Dobles are fast. See, the trouble with steam cars was the Stanleys, the steam engines were basically the same almost through their whole run, and then people put heavier bodies on them, they got slower and slower. Only Doble addressed the problem properly, building a bigger engine, a 4-cylinder compound
Or a bigger body.
and a bigger boiler, because you know, the faster you want to go, the more heat you got to make. That's the trade-off.
We switched off driving again, and Jay suggested I check out the ride from the back seat.
What's around the park, Jay?
There's plenty of room back there, isn't it?
Oh, this is great.
Nothing like being chauffeured around by Jay Leno.
Here, I'll hold that.
Item number 1.
Wow. That was what was on the bench last time.
Yep. But this drives your electrical system here. This is your packing. Your steam packing goes in there. I just grabbed that and burned my hand.
I was going to say, isn't that hot, Jay? Isn't that hot?
That is very hot. Yeah, just as you said that, I went, that's very hot.
It goes in a lot easier.
Yeah.
I just love these sock puppet gloves, though, man.
We will use those in just a minute, my friend. Watch yourself.
Yeah, I will.
Right down there. There's all your lime. That's how you blow it out.
We had a blast with Jay, as we always do. He's not only a true gearhead, but he's also a serious automotive historian. Thanks, Jay. I can't wait till our next visit.
And ready to fight another day.